the most beautiful and colorful flowers in the world of flowers. I am a multifaceted herb that enjoys a special position in the botanical kingdom with my elegance in form, texture, and sparkling color. I am the exotic ginger flower. We begin another journey together with a Guyanese centurion, UG students' work of art, your personality of the week, and entertainment from the recent Guyanese Carnival. So stay on board for the next 30 minutes or so as we make this journey an enjoyable one. I am Lorraine Ward. Welcome to Guyana through the eyes of Homestretch Magazine. Life expectancy of a Guyanese is 66 years. Have you celebrated 66 birthdays as yet? We know several persons, but Nadia Haludar will zero in on one of our nation's centurions.
At every birthday, we get congratulatory messages and numerous wishes for us to live to see 100, but many of us don't make it to that age. Today we meet one of the lucky persons who got all the way to 100 plus 10, and she's still going. Ina Beryl Holder was born on May 20, 1908, recently celebrating her 110th birthday with a few family and friends. For more than 6 years, Ina has been living with Dr. Barry Harry, who is a close friend of Ina's nephew, Agriculture Minister Dr. Noel Holder. From her Lamaha Gardens residence, life is pleasant and restful for Aunt Ina, who only stopped working when she turned 100.
Most of the time she sleeps. Some days she would sleep almost all day. Another time she's up and she's out here on the veranda and she's looking out and she's seeing people passing and commenting on what is happening.
At 110, she has no pains or sickness and continues to eat her home-cooked favorites. Aunt Ina's niece, who lives in Canada, came just for the recent birthday activity and shared some fond memories with us.
I know she likes to be always doing things with her hands. She makes hats, she crochets, and she made me two lovely dresses. Two I remember. The first one I thought it was sort of breezy because to me as a kid, it had appliques just above the hemline, rabbits and stuff all around. I liked it, but I didn't like the neckline. I thought it was too breezy. You know, you sort of feel like if it was, I don't know, exposure or what. But anyhow, it was a nice dress. And then later on in life, like she was the advisor, like my mom's a stay-at-home mom. And she's the one who's out in business, so she knows what's going on. So she made me a lovely dress. It was sleeveless. And she said, if you wear this dress, and you go out among people, you have to shave your armpits. So she is the business lady and telling me like, during my teenage years what you have to do. So I guess that was good for my mom to know all these things. You know?
Aunt Ina was the first switchboard operator at Booker's. Leslyn tells us, adding that she was the one who taught them how to type. Aunt Ina has no children and had never been married.
She had her own experiences and it didn't turn out so great, but listening to what she had to say, I had to laugh, you know, because I think her first experience, it was this guy who had 10 kids and his wife died and he asked her to marry him. And she said, what if I have one of my own? He said, no. So obviously he wanted a nanny for his 10 kids. And she said, madness is running in the family, you know. And some other time somebody wanted her to buy a house with him, but his wife had died. And this is when she was getting older, you know. And he said, but I always loved you because his wife had died and he probably figured he wanted a replacement wife. And she said, how much he loved her, right? And she said at her age, she don't need love, she need money. So that was funny. So whenever I think about it, I figure in a marriage, people should learn to give and take. And it's not just cutting it down the middle in 50-50. Sometimes you overlap this way or that. And there ain't got such a thing as man's work and woman's work. far as I'm concerned. And listening to her, she always practical, right?
One day, while reading the newspapers, she saw a picture of Mahadio Shivraj and fell in love.
She says, I like him. And she made us cut his picture out of the newspaper, put it on a cardboard and hang it up in her room so she could see him.
On her 108th birthday, Ina decided she was ready to go. It was a conversation Derry will never forget.
She said she wanted to see her mother and be with her brothers again. She had 2 brothers. And have an opportunity to meet with the Lord. And I said to her, well, the Lord is not ready for you. If he was ready for you, he would send for you. And he hasn't sent for you yet, which means you're not ready. But I would like you to stay with me for another 2 years till you're 110. And she says, she thought about it, and then she says, okay. And there she is. She kept her word, 110, and she stayed with me for that time.
She has a day, she told you anything after her 110th birthday?
No, well, she did say to me, I'm ready to go now. And so I said, okay. Can't stop her at this stage. She, all I would like to push it and see how far we could go.
If she had a say in the matter, she always told me that many young people are going and she doesn't know why the Lord is not taking her. Because as you get incapacitated, for a person who always does something with her hands, she feels as though, well, why isn't he taking me? And these younger people got a lot of life to live. So that's her query. But who can question God? I don't know, any of us can do that. When our time comes, you just have to go.
Until that time, Aunt Ina will keep on keeping on.
Aunt Hina has lived her younger days in a very inspiring way. Let's keep her in our prayers and thoughts. Art is used by many to express themselves. For these graduates of the University of Guyana, art is a part of them.
Art has always been an expression of self. It's a form we use to express our inner feelings or inner desire. We're here at an exhibition at Castellani House, From Ashes We Rise, done by a final year student at the University of Guyana, Miss Elodie Cage Smith. Let's take a look around and see what's happening and speak to the artist herself.
As you know, we are Caribbean people. I am from Martinique, and I got married to a Guyanese. And so this richness in my own family just inspired me to have my work about the Caribbean. I have realized when I came in Guyana, the beauty of the culture, the 6 people, one nation, I find this fantastic. So I was looking for a way to picture everything that makes my family and makes me, me, on the canvas. So I made a lot of research. I went through history. And the more I was making research, the more I discovered new things. And this is how the theme From Ashes We Rise came up. That painting on its own, because this is a triptych, is named Black River, is entitled Black River. And right up here, you have the depiction of a slave boat where, named the Zong, where 122 slaves were thrown overboard. They were sick, and in order for the slave masters to have to touch the insurance, the slave had to die from natural death. So they actually throw them overboard alive. So when you look down, you will see a depiction, you will see skulls, you will see pain and all of that. Then you have the net, which symbolizes captivity. Right here you have the colors. The colors are standing here only to depict the cultures that would be lost in that water and would be no more. And over here you have this after slavery and the going back to life, going back to what they going back to this life that is totally different. Still with the garments, those colors and symbol represent their culture. They're going back to life with what they have for those who have survived, from the slave ship.
Well, that painting there really explained the struggle the people, we as a people, went through coming here to the Caribbean and starting a new life and starting over from scratch. As your thesis says, from ashes we rise. You were mentioning there's another that you're very proud of that you would like us to see, to feature. What is that? What is that about?
Well, that painting is depicting. Well, I wanted to put a face on the Caribbean people, so this is what I've done, and I wanted also to showcase the energy that can generate from unity.
On that point, let's. It's better we see the painting what she's speaking about. So let's head to that now.
The accent was made on the energy that the Caribbean generates whenever it works together. This particular painting, I remember before I started painting it, it started with a sound. Actually, that was the name that I wanted to give to it, but I didn't. So it started with a sound. I had like the sound of a drum in mind. So that's why you have this circular, shape right there. And then you have the sun that, to me, whenever people talk about the Caribbean, they automatically think the sun. People come from all over the world to get the Caribbean sun. So I just made a representation of the sun. This sun that is all over, being who has been taking notes of everything that has happened to the Caribbean people, but also to the people in the world, all the pain and...
Very, very interesting, and a lot of paintings with a lot of deep meanings to them. She's not the only artist here on exhibit. Let's go check out another young budding entrepreneur, another artist in the making, a mastermind. Let's go have a look. Well, as we were introducing her a few moments ago, you may have noticed her walking in our background. Well, now here she is, Miss Ramathar, Chelsea Ramathar. Chelsea, this is a very interesting piece. What is it about?
Well, this piece is entitled "The Return Home," and I wanted to describe the way the wood is being repurposed. So wood is from trees, and the wood was used as a piece of furniture, and we didn't need the furniture anymore, so we discarded it. But I wanted to recycle the wood, to upcycle, or is the new word. So I used the pieces of wood and made the sculpture, and then I tried to show that the wood is returning back to nature, returning home. So I put like nature taking it over in a way. So the return home.
But why the hand? Why a sculpture of the hand?
Well, in a sense, we as humans also return to nature in the end. I don't want to say it in a bad way, but in the end we do return to nature, so I guess it does have a double meaning.
Chelsea has another interesting piece just on the other side. Let's take a walk over there and she'll tell us all about that. This is the second piece that I've just talked about. Chelsea, what's happening here? We see there's a sculpture of a being and it's holding a head in its hands. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, this one is called Bloom. It's similar to the other sculpture's theme, but this time I wanted to show new beginnings. So in this case, the being is holding her, her head, and she's blooming a flower from the head that was once there. And what it's trying to represent is a second chance, a new beginning. I used a flower because when we think of plants, sometimes when plants die, they go into the earth, they then fertilize the earth, and a new plant is made.
So basically, you're saying it's a rebirth. Is it did she die, or it's a second chance at life?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a second chance at life. Yes.
Art is a beautiful thing, and that's all the time we have for you here today. Do come and check out these paintings down here at Castellani House. These are students of the University of Guyana just showcasing their talent. Remember, art is unique to every individual. I'm Ravi Mohabir. See you guys next time.
People express themselves in various ways. These masterpieces are an expression of each individual artist. Our talent of the week is a born singer who dedicates his life to one purpose, and that is to praise and worship God through music.
I see kingdom fall and water rise. I got peace inside my soul. If you made a way before, you can do it again. With your power, this I know. I've got direction today and direction tomorrow. All because you're in control. I'm never forsaken, never forsaken, never forsaken.
Not forsaken indeed. There is a familiar saying that goes like this: many are called, but few are chosen. Samuel Madas certainly believes he has been chosen. You may not understand it, but at the end of his story you will. Samuel is convinced that God placed him on earth to spread the message of Jesus and salvation. For him, it has been fulfilling. He believes that there is no reason to fix something if it's not broken.
When I started to sing, when I was younger, I mean, my name started to go about the place a little bit, you know. Everybody in school knows Sammy. Sammy could sing, you know, all the girls were like, oh my God, he could sing. And even though I knew God, I think the peer pressure and the attention started to get to me a little bit. And I loved the attention that I was getting, and especially in school, and I was trying to be with all the bad boys, them and stuff. And like I told you before, the word of God says no man can serve two masters at the same time. After a while, you're going to hate one. So after a while, I started to resent the things of God, anything to do with God. And because I had to live a double life, I had to be the school kid at school that was trying to fit in with everybody else and then come home and be a pastor's child.
God, God, you great mother, and the make us to be.
After a while, he began having a strong dislike for anything related to church, but not for long. At age 14, while attending to his mother's food stall, Samuel was struck down by a motorcycle but wasn't injured. Surprising, isn't it? But after that incident, his promiscuous behavior continued until...
I remember the night I was on my bed and I heard God call my name. And my name is Samuel, and there's a story of Samuel in the Bible and God calling Samuel. So I knew that it was God. I didn't have to second guess, and I didn't answer either, but I mean, God didn't need for me to answer. And God said to me, you don't know me. You don't know what I sound like. You don't know what I feel like. You're bluffing this thing. And whatever happened out there this afternoon, that's me in control of things. That's just to show you that your life is not your own. And believe me, that was the turning point for me.
From that moment, Madas approached music with respect and began tailoring his profession to reflect his walk with Christ. He never had a big break in music. It was years of consistency that set the stage and background for everything that's happening in his life now. This young musician has had his fair share of challenges and discouragement, but he has pursued music at all costs.
Nothing else matters, Lord. The glory belongs to you. No one else matters, Lord. The blessing belongs to you.
I quit UG to pursue music, and people thought that I was crazy for doing it. But I knew what God placed me on the earth to do, and I just went after it in the face of ridicule. And let me not even say ridicule, because people who told me don't do it, it wasn't because they wanted to, hate on me or anything. They were just concerned because there's no history of any Guyanese really pursuing music apart from Eddie Grant and really getting out there.
Samuel's music does not reflect the ills of society, but rather uplifting and life-changing messages, hence the reason for his inspirational and heartwarming albums.
Heart to Heart was my first. It was a nervous album because remember I was doing music with other people first, and then I decided that I was going to step out and do a solo album. So this was my first offering that I bring to people. I was so nervous about it, and it was so well received. It's like I went on stage as an artist and I came off as a prophet, and people wanted to hear more. Like, what is he going to come with next? What is he? And so the anticipation was there. And then the next year I dropped This Peculiar Journey, and that too was a success. It wasn't as major as this album, but like I said, it was setting the stage all the time. And then I did Ink of Intimacy, and I featured Positive, and I featured DJ Nicholas, and I featured John Yard, and I featured German Edwards, and all of them, and that really set the stage. And all of my music is basically my own personal life, my own walk with Christ being painted on a musical canvas.
The fourth album, Royalty, was launched in 2017, and to date it has been creating positives for the young gospel artists. So far, he has been receiving invitations to perform on the international stage. For him, it is a delightful experience not only to share the stage with a few Caribbean gospel artists, but to also establish strong friendships.
If we talk about sin, I was the chiefest, and people put me off on the shelf, but I encountered a love that's the realest, and him still saw me want you for myself. Him clean me up, turn me around, lift my head, fix me crown, love me right, praise among me no last, now I'm from, show me off, call my son, change my name, bless my song, now the blessing can't turn down, so may I have the boss, my daddy is the king, so I am royalty, you better believe it.
In February 2017, Samuel Madas won New Artist of the Year at the Caribbean Gospel Music Marlin Award in the Bahamas. It was an honor, but his greatest achievement is being able to influence and give hope to his fans both locally and internationally.
People give me testimonies every single day of what my music does for them. Some of them I will never know, but just being able to use my God-given talent and see people's life be transformed and change for the better.
Looking ahead, Samuel believes in approximately 10 years, more young Guyanese gospel singers will be performing on the international stage. He sees himself as an ambassador, paving the way for others. Samuel Madas, an award-winning Guyanese artist with an empowering voice, who is also a husband, producer, musician, writer, and the list goes on.
I'm very down to earth. I'm quiet when I want to be and troublesome when I want to be and talkative when I want to be. But I'm just very down to earth. I'm a die-hard country boy. Born there, grew up there. I'm a West Coast dude. Catching fish, swimming, all kind of stuff. That is me.
So what you say about me? You better careful what you say about me. Cause regardless of what you say about me, you could never get my father to agree. Cause I'm royalty.
So you see, being a pastor kid never stops you from being yourself. But when you have a special calling, you always end up where you're destined to be. Time to move from in the church into the streets. It was fun and entertaining for Guyanese home and abroad who experienced Guyana Carnival for the first time. Scores of onlookers enjoyed the pulsating music, while others joined the revelers. One such person was Juanita Clark. Carnival is celebrated in many countries all over the world, including Brazil, which has the largest carnival celebrations according to the Guinness Book of World Records, Mexico, Asia, Croatia, Denmark, Norway, England, Nicaragua, Trinidad and Tobago, and now Guyana.
So, Tamika, how are you enjoying the carnival?
I'm having a blast. I've been going at it for the last couple of days, and it's the last lap right now, and I'm having so much fun.
Okay, so it's safe to say that this year's carnival, the first carnival, has been a success. Is that true?
Absolutely. It is definitely a success. There's so many tourists here. All the businesses are doing so well. They're getting sales for the boutiques, the makeup artists, the vendors, the food vendors. I think it's a really good look, and it's nice to see all these tourists come back home to really experience Guyana.
It was a day of color, splendor, beauty, and revelry as hundreds took to the streets to showcase and experience Guyana Carnival for the first time. The parade route in the beautiful capital city was transformed into a sea of colors. A kaleidoscope of colors was painted by the beautifully designed costumes. Cheers and glee greeted the revelers as persons danced and parade to the pulsating vibrations of music.
Okay, Tanisha, so tell me, are you excited to be a part of Guyana's first carnival?
I am ecstatic of the Guyana first carnival. You know, I haven't been here in almost 3 years, and I just came back just for celebrating and actually being here and being participating in Guyana Carnival today.
Okay, and are you enjoying the festivities thus far?
A blast. Juve, amazing. Nice, warm, my waist can't stop. And then last night, Marshall, it was nice. It was perfect.
Guyana Carnival had 10 days of happenings to mark Guyana's 52nd independence celebration. It was truly a remarkable experience. Carnival is really a Western and Greek Orthodox festive season that occurs before Lent. The main events typically occur during pre-Lent, sometimes before February or March.
I just want to say congratulations to all the effort that put into Carnival. Carnival is our culture, and we just need to work together and make it a better next year.
I love Guyana, man. I have to come back. This is a beautiful experience. You got to come to Guyana. You got to visit Guyana. Hey, not only Georgetown, visit Kaieteur Falls, visit Lethem, visit Berbice, visit Bartica, everywhere. This is a beautiful place with beautiful people. Beautiful people. You got to come to Guyana. Come to Guyana. Hey!
They did a really good job for their first carnival. It's really good.
The carnival festivities combine some elements of a circus and public street party. Some people are adorned in exotic skimpy costumes and masks, while playing mass, allowing them to lose their everyday identity and to experience a heightened sense of social unity.
Full of energy and vibration, Guyana Carnival culminated activities in celebration of Guyana's 52nd independence. With that, we have come to the end of another edition of Homestretch Magazine. Trust you enjoyed this week's show. Remember to like our Homestretch Magazine Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Lorraine Ward. Goodbye until we meet again.